Hello, everyone. Hello, SWC and Nodbenbao. Welcome back to my stream. I don't know if you needed to be so crude with it, Nodbenbao, but you're welcome here all the same. It's good to see you. SWC is on Windows 11, so can't be tricked by the Windows noise. That's good. I guess 11 probably has different noises. That makes sense. Hello, Vexatious Idler. You're here for the history lesson? You're here to lead my party to victory today as well. Don't forget that. I don't know how much of it's of like a... Well, I mean, I guess it is going to be a history lesson, but... I don't have a lot of like insider info or interviews or anything like that to really look at. I'm mostly just going to be talking about this guy that you see right over here and the various forms that he has taken over the years. Calamarici, hello, welcome. Yeah, I stopped last Final Fantasy stream like halfway probably through the Chaos Shrine in the 2000 years past. Just because I was about to be out of time for stream. I had other obligations that evening, and I didn't want to try and like rush it and be stressed out the whole time. So I decided to just call it a bit early. So there's a good chance, depending on how things go, today's stream might be shorter overall. But it's for that reason that I've come up with this presentation that I'm going to show you. Because I have been doing a bit of research about this fellow here. I've seen him many times, many places. Hello, Namae, welcome. Abandon the world and only stream. I'm afraid I can't do that. I have too many attachments out there in the world to other things and to other people. I can't be streaming all the time, but I do love streaming. I'll be doing it more. The thing is, in addition to loving streaming, I also love tabletop RPGs, which is the thing I was doing last time that I had to end stream for. We just finished a, I guess we finished like an arc, like a story arc of the Fabula Ultima game that I've been playing in. You know, relevant to Final Fantasy, very inspired by Final Fantasy. But yeah, that game had been running for over a year and was probably like the most consistently meeting, and like, you know, all the players are really excited about their characters and like doing stuff in the game together. So it was a really nice experience. It definitely like, you know, it's a little heavy because it's like, oh man, this thing that I've been doing like every 2 weeks for like 14, 15 months, maybe. It's just not happening anymore. If I want to like play with that character, I, you know, either wait for, I wait for the game to come back, which it very well might someday. The GM just wanted a break from running it, so, you know, we found a satisfying place to have like a sort of end of disc 1 moment. And yeah, if we want to come back to it later, we can. The other option I have is to just like do other stuff with that character, which I feel like I might do. Halketa to Nirvana. I have thought about making like a praying emote, but maybe like a meditating type one would be good. Elodia and her billions will never be forgotten. No, 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 no. I have not made much progress on making video game, but I'm excited to. Trash Boat! Trash Boat, hello, welcome! Oh, how are you doing, buddy? I feel like it's been so long. What were you up to? I appreciate the raid. Glad to hear, glad to hear. For those that don't know me, my name is Catatonia. I'm an alchemist homunculus, constantly iterating upon myself to create the ultimate gamer. I think I'm getting there. Watching Lumina's Arise VOD. Oh, doing the VOD review for Lumina's Arise? That's so cool. I'm not that much of like a puzzle game player, but I could definitely see how like VOD review is very helpful there. And it's like interesting to think about as a fighting games player. But you know, that's also like, I guess it feels kind of funny to think about, but given that I play fighting games and I know the value of like looking back at your VODs, I can totally see how that would be helpful in puzzle games too. One of those things that sounds funny but is also super real. Barrier Trio, hello! Welcome to the Final Fantasy. Main thing you get from VOD reviews in Lumina is you can learn how to do defense on purpose. What does it mean to do defense in Lumina's? Is there like, I guess I've never heard of a versus mode in that game, so I don't know how anything works. Just garbage management. It's a puzzle game versus mode. You set up a big combo, it sends garbage over to your opponent's field, I'm sure. Oh, we're all gonna kill that chaos. I feel like I should find a more fitting sound for the presentation. Perhaps I will put on some Final Fantasy music. I'll put on the PS1 Final Fantasy OST and see what that sounds like since we've heard all the songs on NES. You can learn to stack the right way. You can clear a lot of garbage and get a shit ton of meter at the same time. Light music is fitting because chaos is light work. Let's see. I think this will do us good. I'm thinking I may get started on the presentation in a moment here. Been about 10 minutes, so I think I'll do it. Okay. Let me put on the prelude. Oh, how beautiful. Isn't it great? Okay. This is what I've got for you today. We're going to be talking about the Warrior of Light, who might be the main character of Final Fantasy. So he is a guy who, actually, let me go back one, I think. No, I'm going back, not forwards. Okay. So I guess to start with this art, you know, blue armor, yellow cape and horn accents, fights with a long sword, got like tassels coming off the back. He's got a little dragon buddy on his shoulder. And you can also see that there's, you know, another dragon up here. This is Princess Sarah in the background. This is the cover art for the Famicom version of the game. You know, classic Yoshitaka mono art. This character is featured in most of the promotional artwork for the game. There are actually, at least that I could find, I did not see any artwork of any character besides this. His design is slightly different in, you know, each of these, but you can see the horns in one way or another pointing up or forwards. You know, sword, just solo fighting these monsters. There's other artwork that, you know, is labeled the Warrior of Light in various sources, but the design of him actually looks a lot more like Furion from FF2, who also has like sort of a horn headband thing. His are generally pointing up. So there's actually a little bit of overlap between the concept art for those two, which is kind of interesting. And indeed, in Final Fantasy II for Famicom, Furion just has the red fighter sprite from this game. Okay, but where is he in the game? None of these guys look like him, even though these are the warrior or fighter. None of them got helmets. They all have this sort of spiky, swooshy hair situation. They are the warriors, and like, as you've seen if you've been following along with my playthrough of the game, NPCs will often call you the Light Warriors. They'll call your party the Light Warriors. So one would assume that a warrior in that party would be the Warrior of Light, but he doesn't look like this. It's very strange. The promo art shows him alone all the time, as I mentioned before. My theory for this that a friend kind of brought up when I was talking about this elsewhere is maybe he is meant to represent all four of the party, you know, just for promos and stuff. And that could be maybe trying to follow in the footsteps of Dragon Quest, which released a year earlier, because that was an RPG where you only have the one knight party member. You know, my understanding is he can also cast magic, so he actually kind of can do everything. But in this art of the Warrior of Light, he is pretty much only ever doing warrior stuff. He's not casting spells, he's not thieving, he's not punching things. He's just fighting with his sword and, like, you know, facing these big monsters that are much stronger than him face head on. So I don't know. It's a little odd. So the next time this guy appears is in the PS1 pre-rendered cutscenes that were used for, like, the intro before you know, press start and go into the game. He kind of looks like the art. You know, he's got the forward pointing horns, the blue armor. It's much less ornate and detailed than in the original drawing, but yeah, I don't know. The vibes are just a little odd on this guy, at least to me. I feel like his helmet is too small, for one thing. I think that's, like, the first thing that jumps out to me. I also think his face is just kind of, like, weird in general. His sword's kind of, like, odd-looking as well. He kind of looks like a rejected Soul Calibur guy, or like a Soul Calibur create a character type guy. Very strange. I don't really like this representation of him, but like, I guess, you know, this would have been, I guess this was like confirmation that, at least to an extent, they did think of that art as being like the Warrior of Light, like the canon guy who does the fighting. They also kind of like continue the trend set by those concept arts where he is only ever fighting alone. So see here, he has his back to Garland. They're about to do battle. Who the hell is this guy, Lesbian Donkey Kong? That's what we're trying to figure out. That's what we're trying to understand. I'm looking at the various versions of this guy and trying to see what he's all about. I'm trying to tell you what he's all about, because I've done my research. But yeah, this art is much less detailed than the concept art. He doesn't have the like bright yellow cape and like belt stuff, which I feel sad about, because I feel like that's like what really makes that design work for me is, you know, it's not just like solid color of armor with like a couple accents. The accents are very like colorful and bright. So they stand out quite a bit. Okay, these are more drawings of him from the 20th anniversary PSP release of Final Fantasy. That one also had a new set of sprites, continued with the trend of, you know, red armor. By this time, I mean, I guess in Origins PS1, the warrior was red armor and, you know, roughly brown hair. Same deal here on the PSP, just a, you know, bigger sprite, more detail, slightly different style. But yeah, you can see these Yoshitaka Amano drawings are much like the other ones. One thing that I really like about these two in particular is, well, just like technique-wise, I really like the like heavy dark shading, you know, single color. There's a gradient on this one, but, you know, over here you can see a bit better. It's just one color. So those are really nice. But I love that they really emphasize his like lipstick here. I mean, I guess it's to like help with the, you know, one color of the drawing. But like, yeah, the really strong, sharp eyeshadow, the lipstick. I really love the the makeup situation of the classic Amano Warrior of Light. Okay, but moving right along. Next up, the next time we see this guy is a year later in Dissidia Final Fantasy. This is where this guy really, like, you know, this is the first time that this design of quote unquote the Warrior of Light is one that you can like play as. So you can see here it's mostly like the original design. This is like a Tetsuya Nomura take on the Amano design. The two versions here, for those that don't know, in Dissidia Final Fantasy, there is like a super meter, basically. And once once you get the gauge full, you can activate a transformation for your... I'm calling it a transformation, but it's basically just like a super mode for your character. And in the Warrior of Light's case, it's called class change. So the design on the left here with these like really long upwards pointing horns is his basic form. You can see that like the colors are much more subdued, I guess. They're a bit less saturated. But you get full gauge and go into your class change, and he becomes the one on the right, which I think is a lot closer to the original design. Forward horns, got the brighter yellows, the red here. Everything's a bit more saturated as well. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like the problem that I have with this character is because they made this the base form, this is sort of like the canonized design now, which, I don't like the desaturated colors being the norm now. I don't like the up horns being the norm now. I think, if this guy over here was the real guy, I'd be happier with it. But I don't hate this guy. I do like this design quite a lot. I just wish he had, like, the colors mostly. The forward horns are just personal preference for me in what I like better. Hey, Hellspectre, welcome. I'm talking about the Warrior of Light. Yeah, so once they locked that design in, I guess a lot of them are forward horns now that I'm looking at them, but in the Dissidia series, yeah. Anyways, so this is, he's always going to be the character in any, like, Final Fantasy crossover material. God, let's see if I can remember the names of these two games that I've never played. So this one is from Pictologia, something like that, Final Fantasy, which I believe was like a Picross game, like a Picross style puzzle game featuring Final Fantasy characters. I don't know like how it was or what it was like, but this is just one rendition of him that I saw. This one is from Theatrhythm. The Theatrhythm designs are cute. I like them pretty well. For how simplified the Theatrhythm characters are, I feel like they kept a decent amount of his detail, which I think is pretty neat. Because I feel like it would have been easy to like drop some of these gold etchings or, simplify the shield more. But I'm glad they didn't. This one here is from World of Final Fantasy, where I think he's like a summon, I think is how those work. The like reference characters work. And then this one, I think, is War of the Visions. Vexatious Idler said WOTV. So I think that's War of the Visions. It's almost kind of like a tactics style on this art. I don't know what the game of this is actually like. It was like a mobile game, so I tend to not really play mobile games. Oh, it is a tactics game. Great. It was a gacha, and if you remember correctly, at end of service. I mean, it's a mobile game, so probably that did happen. One other note that I've made here about the Warrior of Light here. Let me step to the side a bit so that we can actually read what I've written. So the character of the Warrior of Light in Dissidia is, I guess without getting bogged down by the lore of that for an hour, it's basically a like an arena fighter game where you can zip around like fucking Final Fantasy VII Advent Children and do crazy like air fights. But there are two teams. There's the hero team and the villain team. Each of the teams has like a god or goddess that they've been summoned by and that they're fighting in service of. The Warrior of Light, of course, is on the side of light and harmony and order, serving the goddess Cosmos. And that's kind of his whole personality. He's kind of like a no-nonsense guy who, you know, wants to fight for her. The villains will try to, like, trick him, but he never falls for anything. He's just very, like, focused on his goals. And, you know, his deeper lore is kind of tied to the lore of, like, the story of Dissidia itself, which is very closely tied to Final Fantasy I's story. Dissidia Final Fantasy takes place in, like, I don't even know for sure. It's like a parallel world version of Final Fantasy I's world. It's got the same world map in the story, like the story mode of that game, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting. He's kind of like an OC that they made up for Dissidia because, you know, the FF1 characters were literally blank slates. And I guess they were like, oh yeah, we should finally, like, put this actual guy in a game. I like him. In the ending for Dissidia, the 10 main protagonist characters are left in a grassy field after the battle, and each of them kind of like fades away, leaving with parting remarks as they, you know, are warped back to their own worlds. With the exception of the Warrior of Light, who is left alone in this field, and then he walks off to a castle in the distance across the water. This kind of looks like the hill at the like bridge intro scene in Final Fantasy I. So the implication here is that he is one of the Warriors of Light. He's gonna go do Final Fantasy I immediately after Dissidia. So that's fun. That's interesting. And yeah, it's like, as I mentioned, the game takes place in an alternate version of the world that Final Fantasy takes place in. He's also been represented in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm not going to get into, like, too much detail here, but when the second release of the game, Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, came out, the sort of like max level content gave you this gear that you can see modeled on this handsome character over here. It's the level 50 tank gear. It was strong for a moment. There's also this chocobo barding, because that's like a thing you can do in Final Fantasy XIV, is like dress up your chocobo in different kinds of gear. There's also this little minion of him. Minions are just like little pets that follow your character around when you're walking on foot. They don't do anything like mechanically, they're just for fun. But yeah, the armor looks pretty nice here. The lighting's not the best in this photo, but the minion kind of looks like they have the lipstick. They've got it down here a bit, I think. It's not the cutest little version of him that I've ever seen. Yeah, this is from the first like 24-person raid that you can do in the game. So, you know, kind of a big deal. There's other like, you know, classic class design, armor sets in there too. He's also a boss in the Shadowbringers expansion. It's a really cool fight, and the music for it's really good. I won't talk about like why this happens or what it is, but it's a really great moment in the story. It fits really well with what's happening at the time, so it didn't feel like, you know, oh, they're just doing a reference or whatever. They worked it in pretty well, I think. Awesome music as well. Okay. So in summary, until Dissidia happened, he was only a concept art guy and a cutscene guy. I've been kind of thinking like his design is very good, but I feel like Black Mage and White Mage feel more like iconic representatives of the game that they're from, at least in my opinion. I feel like most people who are not into Final Fantasy, you know, like the older ones as well, are not really going to know who that Warrior of Light is, but I feel like a lot of people will recognize Black Mage and White Mage. I feel like, especially with Final Fantasy I's sprites, they have kind of like, they're just really iconic. I feel like a lot of people know them. That's just my opinion, though. I like him. I like his design. I like his makeup. I like how colorful his design is. I like the details on the armor. I like his little dragon buddy that he has in some of those pieces. I wish that had made it into all of this like stuff that he's in now, but well, can't have it all. Yeah, I think that's all I got about the Warrior of Light. Very interesting concept, I guess. Thank you for indulging me. I mean, I can do whatever I want, but yeah, okay. Let me cut the music and then let's go play. Let's go play the game. Unpause. We'll be on our way. So, I've defeated the rematch with Lich and I've defeated the rematch with Lich and Carrie, so presumably I'll have to fight Kraken and Tiamat next. Just looks like a throne. I don't know if that's gonna be anything we really care about. I'm happy if the presentation was fun, Namae. I think about that guy a lot because I've just seen him so much. And especially playing Dissidia, it's like weird that he's like the guy. And also, especially now that I'm playing this and he's not here, he has nothing to do with this. They should make White Mage real. That'd be cool. That'd be fun. They did put White Mage in... Nothing here. What are you talking about? They put White Mage in Mario Hoops 3-on-3. So many guys here that I think it would be really annoying if I got hit by a bunch of them, but maybe I can just run. Yeah, it's hard for a mage to get a starring role. When I think about Dissidia, most of the like mage type characters in that are, or at least in the first Dissidia, most of the mage types are also like weapon fighters as well. Maybe we can't run from the water. Maybe we have to fight the water. Shantoto is in the first game, that's true. She's probably like, at least as far as like the hero side, I think she's the only caster, like pure caster. Terra doesn't use her sword as a sword? I don't remember. I played a lot of the PSP Dissidia games. I really like those. Hey boys, we're into the Bureaus of Light. That's a lot of water. Maybe I'll hit 3. Onion Knight's got the ninja and sage thing going on. That's true. I like what they did with the first 3 Final Fantasy heroes. I think they're all pretty neat in their own ways. The Warriors of Light, that's right. The Light Warriors. Furion and Onion Knight and Dissidia were fairly representative of their game. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I haven't played 2 or 3 myself, but from what I know about the mechanics of those games, I feel like their Dissidia designs and movesets make a lot of sense. The only FF game you played before Dissidia was Kingdom Hearts? That's awesome. Dissidia honestly is kind of like a Kingdom Hearts game in a lot of ways. It's got secret reports. It's fucked up that Sora guested in Smash before any Final Fantasy spin-off. That's true. I think it's because you gotta go through Disney to use him, and that will make anything harder. Chance to strike first. Let's see. I should use some items. But we're chugging these potions. Hope we can make it to the bottom. Bracken! There it is! Guess now is as good a time as any to use our Lit 3. There's a rumor that it was supposed to be a Kingdom Hearts game, but Disney turned it down, so they made it a FF crossover game instead, since they already had Cloud and some others made. That would make sense if it was real. I could definitely see that pivot. Let's see, does Koja still have the thing that will let them cast lightning? No. We've got defense will cast Ruse, I think. Alright, nothing that's gonna be super useful here, just attack. I was really happy that Dissidia Duodecim put Laguna in, because I fucking love that dude. And they made him really funny in that game. Laguna's gotta be one of the best Final Fantasy MILFs that exist. That attack from Koja did 6 damage. It's fine, the battle's over. Ah! Let's immediately get into another normal battle after the forced battle. It's okay, we run in. Okay. I'll try this way first. It looks like a little loop here. Stick to my guns. Oh, the Vamps. I think the Vamps will be an easy kill. Hell yeah. Dazzle. Don't get dazzled by the Vamp. Yeah, I'm killing him mid lunges. They won't see it coming. Rock Gall. The Excalibur. Whoa, the big crit. That's awesome. Black Belt Master is awesome. It's so strong. The crazy barehanded damage. Got air. I'm gonna try to run from the air. It may not work. It did work. Okay. More Vamps. Air. Talking Heads knew. They knew what was up. Defend fire. Let's see if we can get a free heal off with the heal staff. Nope. Wow, that's a lot of gold that I probably won't be able to spend. Awesome diagonal hallway. Rock goal. Let's run. Oh, darn. Oh, a chest. In the treasure box, you found Mosmoon. Mosmoone. I know what that is. Is it better than Excalibur? Damage 66, hit 144. $77, 129. Pretty good. Can anyone else equip the Masamune? Oh, Red Mage can equip the Masamune. It's wonderful. That's not bad at all. I kind of would have expected that to be like a ninja exclusive item, like the katana, but I'm fine with this outcome. But now the question is, where do I go? Zombie D. Glad I found that. It seems really strong. Worm! Can't run. I think these worms might be difficult to escape from, or perhaps even impossible. Whoa, big crit. Ah, jeez. Whoa, 640 damage from our red mage. This Masamune stuff is real. Miss Mune. More around. Oh, slice the worm. See, I do have Cure 3. Maybe I'll use some of those. I'm having to think about it a lot, though. Maybe I'll hold off and just get the rest with item. I feel like keeping stocks for life might be important. Although I can't use life mid-battle, so I shouldn't hoard them forever, is what I'm saying, I guess. Alright, let's look around up here. There's Tiamat, so probably a good sign that we're on the right path. I think people should just be attacking. Maybe I'll do White Robe too. Cast Invis on the party. Ah. Tiamat is the strongest of the 4 fiends, so this damage is pretty real. Nothing happens when you use the Masamune. Okay. Excalibur is not doing very much damage to Tiamat. These 4 are fucking awesome. Nice, Bane missed everyone. Quick shot. Five hits, 330 damage, killed. I'm kind of surprised the Masamune didn't have a spell. I'll be real. No, 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 no. Okay, Fire 3, go. Fuck, man, fuck. Okay. Let's go for the... Maybe I do Invis to get easy to dodge. Ah, no! No, it's happening again! No! Ah! Okay. Okay, sorcerers. Okay, sorcerers. Oh, got reparalyzed. Okay. Run. Ineffective, let's go. Luca, run! Luca, run! Luca, run! Yes! Oh, fuck yes! Fuck. Okay, that could have been way worse. Oh my god. I hate those creatures. Close fucking call, that's right. Oh boy. This area is feeling pretty final. Maybe that's too hopeful of me, but I think keeping hope in our heart is good. Let's make sure we're ready. I feel like we might as well top ourselves off. I'm unlikely to use a heal potion as one of my actions in combat. Okay. I think we're probably all set on weapons and armor. I don't know if there's anything else I should consider before going in. My party order. It's good. It's all good. Let's do it, I guess. Remember me, Garland? Your puny lot thought it had defeated me. But the four fiends sent me back 2,000 years into the past. Oh, he stepped backwards for more dialogue. From here, I sent the four fiends to the future. The fiends will send me back to here, and the time loop will go on. After 2,000 years, I will be forgotten, and the time loop will close. I shall live forever, and you shall meet your doom. Oh shit, he's become Chaos. He's not even Garland anymore. It's just the same normal battle music. They didn't have the technology yet. Well, I know what is to be done to this guy. I know what we do to guys like this. Ice 3, ooh. .96 damage on a crit. The man does have some defense. I'm gonna cast Fast again. I think I'm gonna put it on all of our martial fighters. The white t-shirt, that's right. Let's see. He did ice. I'm thinking I put a lit on. Hearing this magic noise so many times. Oh, I called it! I called it! Ten hits, 153 damage. Ooh. Why am I opening the magic menu on the black belt? It's because I'm silly, I guess. What if we change the strategy a little bit here? No, Koja doesn't have a fire, so I think what we will do here is go back to the original plan. Okay, that's fine. I think what I'll do is cast a heal 2. Woohoo! Oh, y'all are so strong. Also, the thing is, this dude's only getting 1 turn while my party gets 4 turns, so... I think we're actually just gonna smoke this guy. Ooh, big hit on Koja. It's a bit scary. Koja just doesn't have the attack power to do much damage here, even with haste and Masamune. Honestly, the 8 sorcerers are terrifying. Oh! Vex has a fire. Maybe I'll spend a turn setting that on as well. Hopefully I can have multiple of those set up at once. I was so smart to give you that spell. Cure 4? HP max? What do you mean? Okay, hold on. Hold on. We don't do that. We don't do that here. Oh, that's painful to know that that can happen. Oh boy, that was scary. Oh, I wish that Knights had Protect in this game, but it's too early and too basic. Okay. Koja won't survive getting hit right now, but if I can get the heal off as well, then that will put them in a really good position, I think. Crack! Ah! What do you mean? What do you mean? Aw, that sucks. There's nothing I can do about that. There's just, like, actually nothing. Oh, well. Let's just do our best. Okay, that crit did a lot of damage. So maybe there's just like a big range on the Masamune's damage and I just need to like roll higher. Okay. Ace 2's not so bad. It's likely that crits ignore defense. Okay, 236 on that crit. Woohoo! Okay, yeah, we're just aiming for crits. Let's do our last heal too, just to give Koja a bit more to work with. Can survive a hit now, like a physical hit. Yeah, could survive 2 of those. That was 7 hits normal and it was like 102 damage, so... think it's a little column A, a little column B. Oops, I didn't even mean to normal attack with the heal staff. That's okay. Terminated, yes! Oh, fuck yeah. This guy's gone. We killed him. Oh, crumble. The shaking, the crumbling. I'm sorry, Vex. I'm sorry you had to fall. You sacrificed yourself for the rest of the Warriors of Light. Didn't expect me to kill him first try? Why not? I'm a gamer. I know what I'm doing. I played an RPG before. Well, I wonder what the ending will be like. We're 2,000 years in the past. The time loop is now broken. The 2,000-year-long battle is over. Peace prevails. Control of the four elements, the earth, the wind, the fire, and the water, again belongs to the earth. Garland's hatred burned for 2,000 years. That hatred led the four powers to this world. Chaos was created from those four. Evil dominated the world and covered it in darkness. But it is over now. Wrong has been set right. The Light Warriors are returning. As they travel in time, the world returns to normal. Sarah and Jane wait for them. Of course, Garland does too. Garland does too? But when did it ever happen? Everything went mad in a day. The reason lies in the 2,000-year time loop. The four chose to become one force and fight against the four evil forces that set darkness upon the world. When the four return, it will be to their past. All signs of the battle with the forces will be erased. But the legend will live on, passed down by the dwarves, the elves, and the dragons. Passed on by peoples unsure where the story came from. The Light Warriors return from their journey back in time 2,000 years. Their memories stored deep in their hearts will protect the world. Never forget the good and true. Okay, everyone? Never turn the four powers to the dark side. And truth will always live in the hearts of the people. The warrior who broke the 2,000-year time loop is truly a light warrior. That warrior was you. May the orbs always shine. It's you! I'm the light warrior! I was the warrior of light. We were wondering who it was this whole time. It was me! Not even a medium warrior. This The End graphic is cute. It's like filling in a strange order that I don't quite understand, but... It's like it's on some sort of metal or something. That's the end. I believe it's, I don't know if it'll stay on this screen or if anything else happens, but, you know, often in these old games, you're kind of just stuck on the end screen. It's a pretty cool game. Please insert a quarter to continue. Wait, no New Game Plus? No New Game Plus? No credits? No post credits extra scene because I 100%ed the game? No, I'm just kidding. I really liked this game actually. Obviously well known to be janky. I think let me put the music back on. Put on the remixed OST. Let's see what the floating castle sounds like. Let me go back to the chatting screen really quick. Yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Very janky, obviously, but you know, knowing kind of ahead of time what's broken and what's not broken. It was fun to kind of play around the jank. There was definitely like certain parts of the game, especially in the floating castle and like those sorcerer fuckers in that dungeon and the final dungeon. I think that encounter is like the actual final boss of the game in my mind. Like getting past those, living through those, that's the real challenge. In the Pixel remaster, they made all the spells actually work and it makes the game super easy. That's funny. That's a funny thing to have happen. Well, I'm glad I played that. You know, I'm a big fan of the Final Fantasy series, but hadn't gotten around to that one yet. Glad to see it myself. Why don't we... I'm looking for who I want to raid into today, because I got some stuff I want to do.